and I've got to go and put my washing into the tumble dryer right now, so I'll be gone for like 30 seconds. There you go, have some of that.
I can't be the only one who feels like I'm going nowhere. Just wishing somehow this dream will carry me. And I'll swear just one last time. They say the world is yours, so I'ma make it mine. 'Cause nothing is stopping you. You could set the world on fire. Nothing is stopping you. And if I go out, I'll go out screaming. So nothing. So nothing. So Cause nothing is stopping you. You could set the world on fire. Nothing is stopping you. And if I go out, I'll go out screaming. And if I go out, I'll go out
They vote Elite FPL.
And the gold award. This is the one. Elite FPL. Well done. Big shout out to you, man.
Your past won't catch you now.
Jason, any more final thoughts?
No, just to say thank you everybody and for all the support again. And Steve-O, he's a bit mean, but he means well, and I'm not going to rise to the occasion. He can bash my team as much as he wants, but I don't care. It just makes me stronger. Makes me more keen to stay above him on the tables, and I guarantee the end of this weekend, you're going to be looking up to me, Steve-O, thinking, what am I going to have to do? What I'm going to have to do to catch him? See you later, dude.
Exactly. Cheers. Cheers, Jason. Thank you so much. There was our co-host, Jason, there, bragging.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Elite FPL where technical issues plagued the start time and we are now 45 or 47 minutes late. Thank you for being patient. Steve-O, thank you for staying awake. I went to a Christmas market. Well, it's not really a Christmas market. It was more of a there were stalls out in the road and they had like a Santa and they had like some like mulled wine and they had, yeah, I guess it was a Christmas market, but it wasn't like a big one. And I ended up being in a massive rush, so grabbed some food whilst out, got home and was like, oh god, looked at the time and I'd raced to get ready for the stream, and I turned the computer on and I noticed something was wrong with my computer. I just, you get used to using the computer and you know when something isn't right. And I tried ringing Steve-O on the Skype and it was like glitching out, and then I couldn't get him onto my broadcasting software. And this is a long story, by the way, so I hope you've got time to listen to it, because I've got time to tell it. And yeah, it turned out that I had a virus of some sort on my computer and it was attacking the Microsoft.NET framework. It was making my like back end run at 100%. My graphics card was literally like 100 degrees. I don't know why. It was something was going on with my graphics card and it wouldn't let anything run. And I was frantically trying to get rid. I think it was an email that I clicked on the maybe yesterday, because that's the only thing that it could be. So I've got virus software now. I got rid of it using the virus software I had on the computer, but I must admit my normal virus software I did let elapse in September of this year, because I've just been like not been on top of it. So anyway, that's a good enough. Stop visiting dodgy websites. Listen, if you think that FPL is a dodgy website, well, it is, because I'm not number one. It is very dodgy. Let's go back to the topic of tonight, and that is that the game weeks are coming thick and fast. Steve-O, you haven't spoken yet. How you doing?
Yeah, still peed off about last night. Like I said on the stream yesterday, that if John Harris wants to do really well and get to the top of the Rivals League, which he now is, he needs for Regulon and Sun to come through. And surprise, surprise, Regulon and Sun come through. And what made it even worse,
good picks,
is that he got an assist as well, didn't Regulon?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Fucking laughable. And obviously last night as well, Ronaldo coming through, but thankfully most people have got rid of him.
And Bruno came through.
Yeah. And it's ironic, isn't it, that Dan's had a really good game week doing nothing with his team. You've had a really good game week doing nothing with your team. I've had a crap game week doing something to my team.
It's the irony, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, mate. This last week has been chock-a-block with work. However, I'm glad it has been, because I've been completely out of love of FPL. Like, and that, like, really, like, it's been like, fuck it, I can't be arsed. You know, and it's been good to have my mind taken off of FPL, the stress of FPL, because I'm thinking, like, nothing I'm doing seems to be paying off.
I'm glad you made that point, because we've mentioned this point 50,000 times, and I'm boring myself talking about it, that this kind of takes a backseat, the game itself.
Yeah.
And
yeah, definitely.
Talking of like fantasy football and stuff, do you know the reason why I brought in Kane? Do you know the actual reason why I brought in Kane? Apart from
because of the name, I never would have brought him in myself, but
because I saw some prat on Twitter, and it said reasons. This is 2 weeks ago now. Why Kane is going to be a good pick, and what I noticed him doing in a particular match, and I fell for it. And the one thing that I've said is don't listen to any content creator podcast to persuade what you're doing.
Bruno Fernandes, you need to get Bruno Fernandes in, mate. He's going to go on a mad run.
Someone's just written in the chat.
You're not going to get him in though, are you? So you don't listen to me. You listen to some random mong on the internet, but you won't listen to me.
It was, what do we call it? Reese, I think it was Reese Smith saying the virus was more attacking than Kane. I mean, I read a report. And
Fred was probably more attacking. Than Kane this game week. That says it all.
Yeah.
Fred actually had a really good game. I watched that United game, and I have to admit, I have slammed Fred like a lot of United supporters and a lot of a lot of critics. He's had a lot of critics, but Fred, that was the best game. I would say it's probably one of the best games I've seen him play in a United shirt. And he was more advanced. He was further forward. So credit where credit's due. He put in a shift and he did really, really well. But yeah, going back to your point. Yeah, don't listen to content creators. They, make your own decisions. That way you can't be salty if things don't go wrong. Like, I make my own decisions, and I stand by my decisions, and if they go bad, they go bad. It is what it is. And fortunately, I'm busy enough with work that I can just take my mind off of things and not, kind of think of the points that I could have had. I mean, essentially, the season, it's like 1/3 of the season. Still so much time left. I'm confident I can catch up the points. 45 points, is it, between me and you? That's nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. In fact, I'm really confident I can catch those points. I could even catch them by Christmas. I look at Cy Bellamy. He was 100 points ahead of me last year. I can catch that. I catch Cy Bellamy.
Weird one, because he was. I gotta give. I'm going to do an impression of someone. Credit where credit's due. So Sai for the last 2 weeks has legitimately had a stormer. So he was 120 points ahead of me. Then I went 20 points ahead of him, and now he's virtually 70 odd points ahead of me. And the last 2 game weeks, he has absolutely blitzed it. Sai has, blitzed it. So it can be done. It can be done easily. I mean, I look at your team here. I always say about fires and.
I've made 1 transfer, Steve.
Already?
What do you mean already? The game's tomorrow.
Oh Christ! No.
I've got 2 free transfers, by the way. I've made 1.
Go for it. Oh wait a minute. You've got. I didn't realise you had Regulon.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I genuinely have just seen that now. Honestly, I did not know you had Regulon.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Take a bow. So I made 1 transfer. What do you think I made?
Hold on a minute. Let me look at your team. If I'm looking at this team here, there's 2 players that I'd be wanting to get rid of. And based on fixtures, it's got to be Jimenez out for somebody, but I wouldn't know who.
Oh, very good. Yes, you're right. I did get rid of Jimenez.
Right, okay. Who did you bring
I
in?
freed some money up. Give you a clue.
Josh King or Dennis?
No, I considered Dennis. I ended up going with the penalty taker.
King.
Nope.
Wilson.
No.
Pookie.
Tony.
I don't know.
Don't get too excited, Steve-o.
Jesus.
No.
Tony.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus is earmarked to get out of my team. I'm going to give him one last chance against Watford.
Yeah.
I think against Watford he could do something. Like, he could at least get a goal. Come on.
Tony. So that's me wasting 50p's on Tony. You don't. I'll tell you what. Could have had mine. I just about to sell him. What, Tony? Firetug? Don't be silly. But Tony, that's
I got plans for elsewhere in my team. But you know, I've got a formation decision to make, whether or not I want to play a 5-4-1 or a 4-5-1 formation going into the Christmas period.
It's funny you say that, because I've posted my team in the Discord and it's a really tough decision, but I'm going with a 5-4-1 this week.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Interestingly enough, because I'm thinking along the lines of you that the strikers are just not worth it. But
they're not worth it at all, mate.
No, there's no one doing anything apart from, you know, ironically, like Dennis. You know, occasionally Josh King will pipe up and whatnot, and I can't even think of any other strikers at the moment that are actually scoring. Jamie Vardy, I suppose, he got a couple of goals the other day, but I just find that if I look at the strikers at the moment, yeah, Dennis, Antonio, he's got to be gone.
I mean, Dennis could be a good one to have up front with Tony, to be honest, for cheap and cheerful, the sort of like strikers. But I mean, I've got issues on my bench. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Like, and I might have to sort some of those out.
Well, that's why
let me get your team up for a moment.
Well, I am thinking of doing a -4 and bringing in either De Gea.
Oh, yeah, do it. Do a -4, mate. That'd be great.
De Gea or Ramsdale in for Guaita, or this backup keeper. I'm thinking of doing it for the backup keeper, but it means that I'll only have 0.1 in the bank. Whereas if I bring in De Gea in for Guaita, it means I'll have 0.7. But I'm thinking of just bringing in the for the backup keeper, Sandergaard, or whatever his bloody name is, for a -4, and just play De Gea every bloody week, basically, unless, just in case, like you said,
in good form.
Depth. Yeah, he's in very good form. I see Ramsdale had 7 saves last night as well. That's what kind of like sways me the points. But you lot, Man United have got some really good fixtures, like exceptional.
And it could be, I mean, and could be a good time to get United back in. I don't know, it's too early to tell now. Ray Joyce has become a member. Thanks, Ray. Cheers, buddy.
I thought he already was, unless it's an issue again.
It could be a returning membership. But yeah, I don't know what we were talking about. Man United, yeah, still too early in it, really, to say anything about United. I mean, I've got Bruno Fernandes, and I'm pretty sure most people would be like rolling their eyes at that and be like, why? Let's just have a look at your team. Gaeta, yeah, you gone with the 5-4-1. I mean, Reece James, quality, Cancelo, Alexander-Arnold, Diaz, Liv Meta, brilliant. Cornet, Salah, Jota. I mean, it's a nice team. It is nice. The only one I don't like is Smith Rowe and Kane. Really, Smith Rowe.
Kane, awful. Kane.
Smith Rowe to me is nah. If I was going to have anyone in Arsenal midfield, I'd have Odegaard, but I wouldn't touch Arsenal, mate. I wouldn't be touching Arsenal at all.
Well, he's doing all right for his price.
There's one Arsenal player. What's that right back for Arsenal called?
Tomiyasu.
Yeah, him. I looked at him. He looks good. Like a good shout.
Yeah, I think for me though, Smith Rowe.
Well, actually, Ray Joyce He's been a member for 25 months in a row.
I was going to say, yeah.
Good morning from New Zealand, lads. Thank you, Ray. Cheers, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, so looking at your team, who have you got on the bench? Antonio, Dennis. Oh, Dennis, Antonio. Nice. I mean, it's a really strong team. Really, really good team.
I genuinely don't know if I should play Dennis, Antonio ahead of Livramento and Diaz and vice versa and all this. I'm just going to do my bets. I'm just going to go.
Well, I would be not playing. No, I wouldn't be playing Antonio against Chelsea. And I wouldn't be playing Dennis. He ain't going to be hardly touching the ball. He'll be a spectator in that game, Dennis.
Well, that's the thing. I've got him in for that. I've been on. Funny enough, on the day that I did the transfers when we did the stream Wednesday, that night I did the transfers, and then Jota and Dennis both went up in price. So I saved 0.2 there, thankfully. And Triggerlips was making a point about Antonio as well. It was a really cool video he did about Antonio, and he was just essentially saying that there's a reason why he got rid of him whenever it was 5 or 6 weeks ago. Since then he's done absolutely nothing because of the fixtures. I mean, I was making the point in my head and kind of like saying out loud, well, hold on a minute, you know, Aston Villa, they scored 7 goals versus Aston Villa and Liverpool. They've been scoring goals. It's just Antonio has literally done nothing, and I don't know why. I'd love to find out why, but he could have got something against Brighton, maybe an assist. But you know, he's like with you regarding Jesus and everything. Antonio's the next earmark player for me, but their fixtures after Chelsea, Burnley, Arsenal, Norwich, Southampton, Watford are just too good to be turning my nose up. It's Kane. Kane's got to be gone after this Norwich game. Awful.
What's my overall rank?
Who cares?
Yeah, I know.
Genuinely, right? I actually detest that question.
Well, no, because I dare to say that Smith Rowe's not good for me. I bet it's right. Arsenal fans come out and ask me what my rank is. Smith Rowe is so good, I'll get out of town.
To be fair, him and Saka and Odegaard, like you just mentioned, look like the only 3 players that want to attack for Arsenal.
I'd rather have Tomiyasu in my team than Smith Rowe. There you go. What's this? When are we doing one of these late night streams where Jason gets on the white wine? Those make the streams worth catching live. Well, I'm actually going out for drinks after this stream. My old work lot are out now, and yeah, I won't be on the white wine. I'll tell you that much. It goes straight to my head.
Top Tim saying, don't start Livramento. We always concede against Brighton. Mate, that game has got 0-0 or 1-0 either way written all over it. That game is going to be awful. Southampton versus Brighton. Hence why I'm going to... It's the same with Chelsea versus West Ham. 0-0, 1-0 either way. More in favour of Chelsea. Again, not going to be a great game. You'll have... what's the other match which is going to be really tight as well? Oh, Wolves versus Liverpool, Newcastle versus Burnley. All games which are... You say
that Wolves Liverpool are going to be tight. Why have you captained Salah then?
It's because I've got to. It's because there's no one in my team which I'd captain other than Kane. But Kane is absolutely useless.
Give us a Harry against Norwich. Against Norwich.
He couldn't do anything as Brentford.
Well, I would argue Brentford are better defensively than Norwich.
Well, you say that Norwich have looked pretty good defensively wise, and I'm not risking Harry Kane. Forget it. Who are you captaining anyway?
Bruno Fernandes probably. No, I'm only joking. Well, I mean, I don't. Honestly, I haven't decided yet. But the captaincy's on Son.
I'll tell you what, Fernandes versus Palace could be legitimately really profitable. Straight up.
Could be.
Palace can't defend. they're hopeless.
He scored a goal, didn't he? He got his goal last night.
Yeah. It's funny how like
Might be on the next penalty.
Since you captained him and he blanked, since then I think he's got a goal and I think he got an assist in the Champions League or the Premier League. I can't remember now. And then he got a goal obviously last night. I think Fernandez is a really good shout, but you can't. If you want to be catching, like you said,
I think I'm going to catch points on you this week. Looking at that team.
What, your team? Looking at your team.
Looking at your team.
I think could be quite a few potential clean sheets. Man City.
Not a fan. I think Cornet's going to blank. I think Smith Rowe's going to blank. I think Livramento, like me, is going to blank. I think that Watford might get a sneaky goal.
They could do, yeah. They always seem to
cancel out your double. I think James will get you something. Alexander-Arnold will probably get you something. Salah, I've got him anyway. Jota will blank. Yeah, I reckon I could catch points on you this week, Stevo.
The thing is that you've got Walker that may not play. He probably will play unless he's been ruled out.
No, he will play, I think.
He'll play. So you've got the double City defence. So that kind of me and you are facing each other on that.
Yeah.
You're going to be playing what, a 4-4-2?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to have Cancelo, Walker, Livramento, Reguilon. So that's, apart from Reguilon, they're virtually the same players as mine.
So I think with Fernandez, Son, Rafinha against Brentford, I got Jesus and Tony. So
Fernandez.
I reckon that Brentford Leeds game could have some goals in it, you know, mate.
No chance. I can't see.
You don't reckon?
Nah. Leeds, awful. Brentford, nah.
Oh, we'll have to. Well, we'll have
I
to.
can see that being quite a 0-0. I think I predicted 1-1. I think it's just going to. I mean, I still can't get my head around Flame Thingy. Rafinha getting that 93rd minute goal against Crystal Palace. That's.
I know. I can't believe that.
Absolutely ridiculous. Why would you be concerned with Cornet as Watford and Newcastle in the next three? Yeah, I agree. I'm not concerned with Cornet. Chris Tinson making the point Leeds having a terrible season. Yeah, they are. But it's like Mark Southerns always says, when you see a particular team score, who do you think has scored? Well, if Leeds score, you're always going to think Rafinha. Man United, you're going to think Fernandez getting something. Same with Tottenham. You've got the players. Who did you say you pointed for him and it's Tony? Yeah, I think it's a perfect. If Jesus could be profitable against Watford.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jesus is again is I've got pie in my face because every time I bring Jesus in over the last 3 or 4 years, Jesus, every time I brought him in, he's done nothing for me.
Yeah,
and it's just like I don't learn my lesson. And then of course he got benched, didn't he, the other week for that kid.
Palmer, I think his name is.
Yeah, anyway, moving on. Should we move our attention towards the fixtures this weekend, Steve?
Yeah, go for it.
Right, so this weekend we have got
I think they've got good fixtures. Where I think I can see a high scoring game.
Oh, by the way, I have to say Amazon Prime, amazing. Again, really enjoyed watching the games on Amazon Prime. Okay, so we've got the mighty West Ham up against Chelsea to kick the game week off at lunchtime. I think this is going to be a comfortable win for Chelsea. I think 2-0 to Chelsea.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that it's going to be West Ham are going to do what they do all the time, which is attack for the first 20-25 minutes, and then it just dies off. And if they don't get that goal quickly, they're going to be stuffed. And I have this feeling West Ham will score. I think I'm putting the predict. Yeah, I have this feeling they'll score because it's a local derby. It's at West Ham. I just want to quickly check actually what West Ham are like at home.
That'd be good because a lot of people got double Chelsea defence.
Well, this is the thing, you see. So I just have this gut feeling that West Ham will score. I don't think they'll win. I don't think they're going to be winning here. West Ham at home. Yeah, they score a lot, but they also scored 13, conceded 10. Unbeaten in their last 3, 1-2, drawn 1. Chelsea, on the other hand, away from home, they score lots of goals and don't concede. I really do think that it's going to be 2-1. But if it was again, it's the classic thing for me. If it ended 1-0 Chelsea, I would not be shocked. Lukaku for fire talk could be a great shout. Ramanathan.
Got 2-0. FPL Seb saying 2-0.
Yeah.
Harry Dawson saying 2-0. Niraj 3-0. 2-1 Chelsea says ABJ. 2-0 Chelsea says Ramanathan. I mean,
this is the one for me where I'll be scouting Lukaku to maybe bring him a team for what's his face, Harry Kane. Maybe even Werner, because their fixtures after Leeds, Everton, Wolves, Aston Villa, Brighton. Tasty.
I wouldn't be getting in Werner, but yeah, I mean Lukaku over Werner for me. Most people going with a Chelsea win here. Lukaku's been hit and miss with fitness. I mean, yeah, his fitness is not going to be there. I know. Probably if he starts the next, if he plays, he's going to need a few games, I think, to get back to full fitness. So it might be worth just holding off, getting him in. Werner's the unluckiest forward at the moment. What do you say to that, Stevo?
Yeah, I mean, he seems to get a lot of opportunities, and he just blitzes
he's
it
always
wide.
doing it. He's always doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's nothing new. Nothing new.
But they seem him and Lukaku seem to have sparked up some form of partnership, and then one of them gets injured, and the other one gets injured, and it's just a rebuilding phase, I think.
What was your score prediction?
I think I've put in the predictor game 2-1. 2-1, yeah. But
awesome.
Honestly, tight game.
Newcastle versus Burnley.
Newcastle don't want to lose. Burnley don't want to lose. Ironically, because we can't defend, I think Newcastle are going to get their first win of the season. But Newcastle can't defend either. I think this could be either, quite literally, a 0-0, or it could be a 3-3. It could be anything, this game. But I've gone with Newcastle. I've gone 2-1 to Newcastle. I think it's going to be quite a high-scoring game, this. But honestly, if it ended 0-0, I'm not going to be like, wow, how did that end 0-0? I'll be like, what would you expect? They're two crap teams. They're awful. So, yeah, I'm going in favour of Newcastle, unfortunately. Newcastle to get their first 3 points of the season. I've got St Maximum as the points projection. I think he's going to score against us. And Eddie Howe against his former team as well. Yeah, 2-1 to Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming up with that. I mean, I'm going to go 1-1, to be honest. I think it might just cancel each other out and just be 1-1.
Yeah. It's the same with the next game, isn't it? Southampton-Brighton.
Yeah.
It could be a really low scoring, dire 0-0. It could be
it could be 2-2.
But, Southampton can defend. Brighton, again, they're no mugs. They can also defend, and I think I put 1-0 to Southampton. I think Southampton to go get back on track here and get that standard 1-0 win that they were used to doing. But once again, 1-0 either way, 1-1, something like that. Basically, under 2.5 goals is what I'd be betting on this game. That's what I'd be thinking. What do you think on this? I mean, there's no real assets, is there? I mean, Sanchez.
I mean, I'll take a 0-0, mate, in this game. Only Livramento and Sanchez. A 0-0 would be fine. And I think it is a realistic scoreline. I do. It could be the most boring game of the whole weekend. And nobody's going to be thinking about it too much. So, I'm going to go 0-0 in that one.
Yeah.
We move on to well, the guys in the chat, by the way, are saying 1-0 Southampton, 1-1 says Ramanathan, 1-0 Saints says Gavin Gold. Hey Gavin. 2-1 Brighton says FPL Fozzie. FPL Penguins there too. Hello to you. Got Harry Dawson saying 1-0 Brighton. ABJ saying 1-1. 1-0 Duffy goal please, says James Beacock in the chat. Mupai to wipe out the Livramento clean sheet. And 1-0 Saints as well, says Andre D. Well, here we go. Some people say, 3 or 4 people are going with 1-0 to Southampton in that game. We move on to the next game, which is Wolves versus Liverpool, a game in which you think could be tight.
I've put 2-0 to Liverpool, but 1-0 Liverpool. Wolves are they're crap. From what I saw against.
I'm going to go 2. I'm going to go 2. I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be more than 1 goal. 2-0 to Liverpool is a good one.
Yeah, Liverpool at the moment are
maybe 3
goals.
Maybe
for fun.
3, to be honest.
You think 3 against Wolves?
Yeah, I think Wolves are rubbish.
Yeah, but they don't concede goals.
Oh, they will tomorrow. Oh, well, they will on Sunday. Oh, yeah, tomorrow. So they
Saturday,
will be.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a really good test for Liverpool. Really good test.
I think they'll break them down. They'll get a goal in the first half at minimum.
Jota returning as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's enjoying the opportunity now to get goals. It would be quite fitting to get a brace against his former club, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think I'm going to go with 3-0 actually to Liverpool in that game. I actually think it could be 3. So does Fozzie, so does Andre D, so does Dread FPL. He says Dread FPL says 3-0 at least.
Well, he called
triple captain Salah if you can, says Chris Tinson. Salah train keeps on rolling, says Ray Joyce. Liverpool 3-0 win, says FPL Penguin. Jota's birthday tomorrow. Oh, it's setting bloody stars, isn't it? It'll be 2-0 by the 17th minute, says Andre D. Wow. Okay, 5-0 Liverpool, says James Beacock. 4-0, says Semi-Sweet Potato. Hello to you, Semi-Sweet. Yeah.
Wolves are fantastic defensively.
Well, not everyone in chat doesn't seem to think that.
Liverpool have only beaten Wolves by more than a goal once in the last 6. So Wolves 2, Liverpool 1. Liverpool 2, Wolves 0. Liverpool 1, Wolves 0. Wolverhampton 1, Liverpool 2. Liverpool 4, that was the only time. Wolves 0. Wolves 0, Liverpool 1. There's only really a goal in it, apart from the odd, like Liverpool 2-0. But
they're going to break the trend then tomorrow. Minimum.
It's going to be tight. 2
goals, I reckon, minimum for Liverpool. I'm going to go 3-0. Sorry, people in chat. Some people are saying 4-0. Moving on to the Sunday games, we've got Leeds there.
Oh no, Watford, Man City.
Oh, beg your pardon. My Jesus pick.
I think we'll do all right.
Yeah. Got a phone call. One second, mate.
I think you'll come through with something.
Carry on.
I think Jesus comes through with some form of attack and return tomorrow. I think it's going to be should be a 4 or 5. Gavin Gould 4-2, yeah. 4-1 Fozzie, 3-1. I have 2 Man City defenders, so they might concede. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Dread saying Dennis will score. 3-1 ABJ. Does Foden start? Probably. If he's not ill, he'll start. He'll be starting. Easy peasy. Ramel saying 5-1. 5-1 Ramel. Relic returns on 5-1. The problem is that Man City at the moment are just basically trying to get those goals and just sitting back and defending, and just honestly, they are so boring to watch. Just stuck outside. They'll be stuck outside Watford's penalty area for the majority of the match, playing the ball around and trying to find that break through into the Watford penalty area to give to the likes of Silva, Foden, Gundogan, Sterling. And yeah, I can see Man City scoring early, contain the game, score again in the second half, and it was just, I mean, I've predicted 2-0. But can Watford get that goal? I mean, I brought in Dennis this week, but this is the week that everybody goes 8. You reckon Sterling, eh, Vince? Sterling. So, Champions League this week already. Champions League. Whew. I didn't realise that.
Wow.
Are you back, Jace?
Yeah, I'm back now, yeah.
Lots of people think it's going to be a very high scoring game. It's just going to be a professional job from Man City. But
do you think Jesus has got a chance to get a goal? Really?
I think an attack and return. I think he'll get an attack and return in this game if he starts. I think he gets an assist, a goal. Doesn't matter.
He should start.
Yeah,
he should start.
I mean, I've predicted 2-0 in the score predictor game. What do you think?
I mean, somebody in the chat was on about getting Dennis in for Jimenez. I'd wait if you want to get Dennis in. I wouldn't be getting him in for this game. I'd wait for the next game. Who have they got after this? Who have they got in next game week following? Brentford. I'll get him in for the Brentford game on game 16. I'm going to go with a 2-0, 2-0 to Man City.
Yeah. I do like that prediction. I think it's good.
Let's see your team, Jason. Yeah, okay, here's my team. Here we go, it's my team. Next game we've got is the Sunday game, Leeds versus Brentford. Leeds versus Brentford, Steve-O. I've got Rafinha and Tony in that game.
Rafinha and Tony. Yeah, I think I can, again.
One of them potentially to get something.
Yeah, I think that there's a decent chance. Again, I think a low-scoring game, personally. I've gone in the predictor game, I said cancel each other out. I've gone with 1-1. That's what I've gone with.
1-1. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I mean, I think that there could be a winner in this. Leeds are at home. I'm going to go 2-1 to Leeds.
Yeah.
Just to nick it. 2-1 to Leeds. We've got in the chat, we've got Ray Joyce saying 3-3. Ray Joyce there sporting his golden Elite FPL badge there. We've got FPL Penguin saying 2-2. 1-1 says ABJ. 2-1 to Brentford says Cinnamon. Hey, Cinnamon. Dennis is rising tonight, says a Fire Tog. Okay.
Again. Wow.
Crazy. 0-0 says Niraj. I think it could be 2-1 to Leeds, even though you know, like you said, they're not exactly free scoring at the moment. So yeah, take that with a pinch of salt. 1-1. Actually, let me think. One all actually does sound quite good. Yeah. 1-0. Gonna go 1-0 in that game. We move on. Manchester United versus Crystal Palace.
I can't even remember what I predicted for this game. But Man United to whitewash them here. I think 2-0, 3-0, 3-1. I think I put 2-1. Yeah, 2-1 to United, but honestly 2-1, 3-1, maybe even 4-1.
I love the way you always got to give us the clean sheet wipeout.
Yeah, of course.
It's typical, isn't it? It's like probably end up we'll concede first, and we'll have to come from behind. But I'm actually going to give us a clean sheet in this game. I'm going to go 2-0 to Manchester United.
I think it has to start now. Your fixture run is fantastic.
Yeah.
In fact, I've literally just done the transfer. I've just done a -4 to bring De Gea in. I've just done it. Just stuff it. I brought De Gea in for
How much is De Gea?
5. Just so cheap.
Wow.
Yeah. For a player of his quality, their fixtures are just, or Man United are so, their fixtures are incredible.
Yeah, and then the new manager bounce could happen, and could it be people going back to Ronaldo, Bruno again for the sort of mid-season, push towards to the end of the season? We just don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
The next 7 fixtures, they should be able to keep a minimum of 3 clean sheets out of 7. A minimum, you'd think.
Fartog in chat says -4 for a goalkeeper switch. Whoa.
You got Palace, Norwich.
He doesn't want to acknowledge that, Fartog. He's happy to.
Again, I do this line. I don't understand why people care. It's my team. It's like I always defend Trigger Lips, because Trigger Lips always says on his videos how he gets DMs and these Muppets message him and say, "You told me to do this. You need to release a video." Piss off. Like, it's his team. He can do what he wants, and it's the same for me. -4 for a keeper. Yeah, done. I'm not Guaita up against Man United, and I want De Gea because De Gea's fixtures are looking absolutely fantastic. Get him in now while I can, and I've done it, so I'm happy with that. And then my next, like I say, Sancho possibly to look at, Ronaldo in for Kane possibly. Who knows? I see FPL Mate looks like he's bringing in Ronaldo, so I may just copy him, bring him in.
Copy him. Shout out there.
Certainly put £1 on him to score. But yeah,
So what was your prediction? Sorry,
I've gone 2-1 because they always concede. But
Yeah,
to be completely honest with you, I think that United should be keeping a clean sheet in this game.
You would have
in
thought
the Norwich
so.
game, against Brentford, against Newcastle, against Burnley, against Wolves. They should. But whatever. At the end of the day, De Gea is just, at the moment, as you're fully aware, is just saving and saving and saving. It was a toss-up between him and Ramsdale, but De Gea's fixtures just push it for me. And
a Gaeta penalty save rant.
Oh yeah,
I like it.
I say, I'm gonna probably back the. Well, ironically, I'll still
back the wrong horse.
yeah. But I'm glad I've got 2 playing goalkeepers now, because I had that dilemma a few weeks back. So I'm just glad that I've got 2 playing goalkeepers. Happy days. So yeah.
Okay, so we're moving on to the Spurs Norwich game then. You've got Kane, I've got Son.
I've put 1-0 to Spurs. I don't know what's going on there, but 1-0.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
1-0.
am I right in saying that Spurs scored late on last night as well to make it 2? Is that right?
Son, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was 67th minute, I think it was.
Right, okay.
It wasn't that late.
So when did they concede the first goal then? Score the first goal, do we know?
First half, I think. Someone in chat can probably... Hang on. It was... It doesn't give me the minutes.
And it was an own goal, wasn't it?
It was.
It was an own goal. Again, I haven't seen it or anything.
I think it was in the first half, I think. But anyway, it was like it was sort of middle through the second half, mid. But let's move. Let's move on to into that fixture in a second. Spurs Norwich then. So you've got.
I've gone 1-0.
You've gone 1-0, and I'm going to go with. That's a really solid prediction. I don't want to copy.
Like that matters.
2-1 to Spurs.
2-1. You think Norwich are going to score?
Well, I think they might get lucky.
Christ. Utter.
17 minutes the own goal was scored.
Wow. And the fact that there was no assist. What happened? Was the goal?
I didn't see the goal. I didn't see it.
Oh well. I'll tell you what. The next game excites me. I'm glad it's on TV. Aston Villa Leicester. I've got this as goals. I've got this as a 2-2. I think I predicted 2-2. Yeah. I think they're just going to both go for it. And
yeah.
I expect Aston Villa to exploit Leicester's rubbish defence, and I expect Leicester to exploit Aston Villa's defence. I think it's just going to be a lot of goals in this. Watkins will probably score again, so the bandwagon will start. I think Leicester are going to continue scoring their goals, and yeah, I've gone 2-2 Jace for this particular fixture, and it's a bit annoying that I haven't got any assets from.
I'm 2-2. I disagree. I'm gonna go 1-0 to Aston Villa.
You don't see Leicester scoring at all.
No.
Come on.
Well, Michael Svedin's got 2-0 Villa.
Leicester, like Man United. Man United
3-2 Villa. FPL Fozzie. 2-1 Leicester. 2-1 to Villa, says Relic returns. Vardy party going to go on this weekend, Bender.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about Jamie Vardy. But 1-0 to Villa.
1-0. Yeah, Fire Talk saying Vardy to punish his sellers. I think he will. I think he scores. Scores.
Everton versus Arsenal, then we'll move on to that game.
Another absolute dire game.
Well, you've got Smith Rowe.
It doesn't matter, mate.
Obviously you must think he's a good player. You got him in your team.
Yeah, but he could get the one goal that I've gone 1-0 to Arsenal.
1-0.
Everton can't score. Can't defend.
Well, I think 1-0 to Arsenal is good. I'm going to copy you. I'm going to go 1-0 to Arsenal. That's a really good one there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
2-0 to Gunners, I think. Yeah. Everton are useless, aren't they? They really are.
They haven't got anybody that looks like they're wanting to play at the moment for Everton. From what I saw at the Liverpool game the other night, lacklustre, just pants. And I think Benitez coming out with all the excuses. We've got injuries and stuff. Yeah, well, you've got to make the most of your team, and they just look like they just don't want to concede goals, so they just sit back and back. Oh, it's awful. It's just terrible from what I've seen of them. And I think Arsenal are just going to, even if it ended 0-0, I would not be. It could end 0-0 this game. Arteta going back to Everton as well.
It could end up 0-0. It's not a bad. Yeah, it's not outside the realms of possibilities. So yeah, not a game that I'm going to be watching.
No.
But yeah, focusing back on our teams, are you happy with your team going into this game week?
Yeah. Obviously I've just done a -4 for De Gea, and I'm looking at that team: De Gea, Cancelo, James, Trent, Diaz, Livramento, Cornet, Salah, Jota, Smith Rowe, and Kane. I think that team looks beautiful on paper.
60 plus points.
Well, I said it's going to be a high-scoring game this week, and I stick by that. I think this week could be a very profitable one for popular, because the last two game weeks, not many of the popular assets have done anything apart from Salah. So I'm
already 4 points closer to you now.
Yeah.
41 points now. So
yeah, and who's the differentials again? Fernandes, which is
Fernandes,
frightening. Yeah, that's
Son,
scary.
Fernandes, Son, Tony, Jesus, Rafinha.
Regulon. Yeah, I worry about Regulon clean sheet. Fernandes possibly getting double-digit haul. I think that's very, very likely. Rafinha, we all know what he can do.
Yep.
Son, once again, it's like you said, he's the only player that moves forward for Tottenham, so that's another one that could be quite frightening this week. Jesus, I've already said, will probably get an attacking return. And Tony.
If I can catch points on you this week, I'll be happy. If I can catch 10, 15 points on you this week, I would consider it a success.
Well, it's down to if Man United can keep a clean sheet, if
Well, score.
it's down to Walker.
Fernandes. Is Man City? Well, Man City clean sheet is not, doesn't matter because you've got Cancelo and Diaz. I've got Cancelo and Walker, so it makes no
Just
difference.
Walker versus Diaz, isn't it?
Essentially, but it makes no difference. I mean, I think that the main thing is going to be if Chelsea get a clean sheet and Reece James gets a goal, I think that could just cancel out anything I get with Jesus or Tony or Rafinha or Son or Fernandes. You know, that in itself. I think that looking at your team, Cornet and Smith Rowe, Kane. I mean, not. Anyway, I wish you the best of luck. Not. Of course, I don't wish you the best of luck. I hope that all your players fail and I catch up 40 points.
Well, based on what I've said that Man United to concede, so that's 2 points. Cancelo and Diaz to keep a clean sheet. Chelsea to concede. Trent to keep a clean sheet. Livramento, Southampton to keep a clean sheet. Cornet, like I said, could be a really high scoring game, could be low scoring, could be either way. Cornet's got a decent chance of doing something because he's the only attacking threat for Burnley.
Yeah, I think you could be looking at 65 points, your team.
It's down to Kane, really.
Yeah, I think 65 points is a realistic score, I reckon, in that team this week.
And then for me, it's right.
I think I could get, if I honestly feel I could get 70 plus.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've got,
and that's me being conservative. That's not me thinking like pie in the sky. I actually do think that I've got a chance of getting.
Well, I remember when I used to do the team predictions, and you know, if I was doing team predictions this week, I'd be saying Fernandes to get genuinely a goal.
Cheers, Fozzie. You take it easy, mate.
A goal and an assist for Fernandes. That's what I'd be predicting.
That would be dreamland.
Regulon to keep that clean sheet. I'd probably go with Rafinha to score. I'd probably say Son will score. Like I've already said, Jesus. Let's just say Jesus
assists, yeah.
And I'd probably say Tony to blank. So all your differentials,
Tony to blank, yeah.
Your differentials are all coming through with attacking returns.
Well, hopefully.
It's just down to your captaincy.
Will I go with Fernandes or will I just stick it safe with Salah? Well, I'm not going to stick it safe because I'm chasing. So
if I'm in your shoes, I'm captaining Fernandes. I think in your team, Fernandes is the one to chase the rivals. Son is the kind of like Son along with Salah is the safety net, I think, for you. I think that for me, of Son and Salah, Son's got the better fixture, and I'd probably captain Son. If you want to do the chasing, do that. Son's got the goal, he scored. If Kane, I said last night on stream, if Kane does really well last night, even if he didn't score, but he looks like he's on it, I'd probably give him the captaincy. Apparently he was just non-existent.
Mate, I don't know why you sound so surprised. I mean, it's not like you've not had any warnings that he's going to be a central midfielder.
Those fixtures.
Yeah, no, but the fixtures are just get Son in. Get rid of it should be Son in, Smith Rowe out, and then bring in like Dennis or someone else up front instead of Kane. That's what it should have been.
Yeah.
Anyway, digress. Any final thoughts? I know Steve-O's got to go to bed. Got any questions in the chat that you can see?
I always keep singing the Elite FPL song. Questions.
don't be different for being different. Same, even if you are behind. The armband goes to the player you think scores the most.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
personally, from my point of view, in my team, Salah's my best bet. So I captain Salah. It's either him or Jota, but I don't need to.
Getting Chris Wood soon, Steve.
Chris Wood. He's done nothing all season.
I'm not even going to answer that question. It's a risk that you can get further behind. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but the reward is there. And like I say, if I'm in your shoes, I'm captaining Fernandes. Genuinely, I think that Palace game is gold. Palace are useless. And like I say, if Man United were to score 4,
could be one of those games.
It could
make
be
a statement. Make a statement.
Yeah,
we've not seen that for a long time, have we? We haven't seen that United game where they score 4 goals to make it, 4+ goals to make a statement. We've not seen that for a while.
Well, they need to, and with the new manager in charge, it'd be interesting to see how they perform in front of him, because it's needed. The history.
Oh, it's needed.
The history is Palace in the last 6, 0-0. This is at Old Trafford. 0-0, 2-1 Palace, 3-1 Palace. So Palace have got an excellent record against you guys, and then you've got a really good record. In fact, weirdly, your results away from home match identical to Crystal Palace away from home, barring one goal.
Really?
Yeah, so Man United 0, Crystal Palace 0, and then you've got Crystal Palace 0, Man United 0, Crystal Palace 1, Man United 3, Man United 1, Crystal Palace 3, and then the two that are slightly different are the 2-1 to Crystal Palace and 1-2-0.
Yeah, I know that we've had. They have been tricky. We've trying facing up against them the last 2 seasons. But I think this season Palace, for me, I don't think they offer that much. Like at the back, I think that they're shaky. I think United have got the ability to break them down, even though Gallagher's good. Yeah, I think it could be one of those games where we just dominate the possession and we get chances. And if we can take our chances early on, if United can't take their chances and it goes into half time 0-0, I think it could be a bit of almost like a real, not cagey, but like it could take the wind out of ourselves a little bit going into the second half, and encourage Palace to try and get into the game more. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I think that if we can get an early goal, and I would like to see United not fall behind, is what I'm trying to say. I want to see United get an early goal, 17 minutes in, 20 minutes in, develop and establish a comfortable lead, get a second goal before half time. That would be great. If we see that, we're well happy. But if Palace get an early goal, I think heads could start going down. But they're gonna want to impress their new manager. You would have thought so. I think it sometimes it takes us going behind to kick us into life, but no, I don't see that with Palace. I think it's going to be.
Do you know much about this manager Rangnick at all?
I know that he's highly and widely respected by a lot of managers. Like they know of him, or they've worked with him. I know that Jurgen Klopp had a few nice words to say about him coming to the Premier League, almost appearing to be a little bit like, how do I say it? He's just like maybe a little bit not worried, not concerned, maybe concerned. I don't know. From a Liverpool point of view, he did say that they don't normally comment on such things, but yeah, he's got a lot of respect for him. I think that he's going to be a completely different manager than what Solskjaer has been, and the players aren't going to be able to get away with the performances that they've been putting in. They're going to have to, in training, I can see him going crazy. I seen a video clip of him in training, and he really drills the players, like really drills them. Like, he's efficient. He's, German efficient, and he I think he's going to be the sort of change that's needed for these egos that are in the dressing room. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, love the guy, absolute legend for United, and I'm sorry it didn't work out. I would have loved it to work out, but you can't be a mate of the players. You can't be like, you can't have the players dictating to you how they're going to run things. That's not how it works. And I honestly feel like that's how it got with Solskjaer. Like, you saw him at the side of the pitch, he was smiling, we were 1-0 down or whatever, and he's always we're trying to get back in the game, and he's just like, I don't know, almost like not with it, like not really with it tactically or mentally. I think I think he just was too nice. I think he was too nice a guy, and the players were just essentially in charge. The players are in charge of the dressing room. Ragnick's going to take him to school. Yeah, I think it's what's needed at United. He's being boring and rolling the transfer. No, I didn't. I made one transfer. I brought in Tony for Jimenez, and I'm saving the second transfer. The German Bielsa, says Harry Dawson. I mean, I'm looking forward to, at the very least, I'm looking forward to seeing what impact he makes in the near future.
Is it only for this season he's in charge?
Yeah.
Wow.
But he's got a deal for like the next 2.5 years to have an active involvement in the sort of like the affairs of who we pursue, and I think he wants to have an involvement in terms of like making footballing decisions at United. It'd be interesting to see at the end of the year, the end of the season, I should say, end of the season, if he's performing and he's got the team firing on all cylinders, then who knows, he might be asked to stay on. I think that if he is doing really well, I think it would be stupid for the club not to. But at the same time, if they know he's an interim manager, they're going to be looking for a replacement, aren't they? So he's not going to be given that sort of time. I think it's a weird one. It's a really weird one. Yeah, I personally, if he does really well in the next few months, I'd like to see him given the opportunity to stay. But it ultimately depends on what he wants, and But yeah, Ragnick will basically dictate who United will buy. It's an interesting one. Yeah, on that one, Steve-O, I think we should probably call it.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, if you want to take one call, Brian Tavares is saying
okay.
He's in the waiting room. We could happily speak with him for a few minutes. I'll see what he wants to say more to the point.
One sec. Let me get my
Let's try and get in the waiting room.
Yeah, bring him in.
See what Brian wants to say to us. So I'm on air. Jason's on air. I bring him on. Happy days. Brian, Brian, speak to us. What do you want to say?
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Hello, long time no speak.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. How can we help you?
Yeah, it's having some second thoughts here. I hear you slacking off Chris Wood for some reason, and you're a Burnley fan, I think, right, Steve-O? Or am I wrong about that?
No, you're not wrong. Chris Wood is absolutely useless this season, so go for it.
So I just brought him in. Can you take a look at my team here? If I post that in the screenshots.
Go for it.
Just brought in Chris Wood. Why?
Well, it's a Newcastle, right, Steve-O? Newcastle.
Is this a genuine call?
This is I'm having a rough season. It's last season I finished 50k, and now can't even break 100k this season. It's going the wrong way. So please, like, what do I do?
Chris Wood and Cornet, are you mad? I didn't
Well,
even know you had Cornet.
He's been doing great,
Let me turn you down, mate. You're blowing my eardrums.
and I heard from Cornet because of you, Steve-O. Otherwise, I would have never known he was here. So it's happy about that. But
It's Burnley. We can't score.
well, you guys are scoring this season. Look at the last games.
Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the last game, shall we?
Or not the last game, but the previous before. But
So 3-3. I predicted a high-scoring game. Chelsea 1-1. Vidra doesn't even play for us. We beat Brentford.
This song's for Dread. By the way. Carry on.
We beat Brentford 3-1, which was completely out of nowhere. Got a high-scoring game against Southampton 2-2. We lose 2-0 against Man City as expected. A dire 0-0 draw against Norwich. A surprise 2-2 against Leicester. Lose 1-0 to Arsenal. Surprise. We lose 3-1. We don't score goals. We concede goals, Brian. Slight difference. And it's all about the team that we're playing. Now, don't get me wrong. I did say at the start of the stream that this could literally go either way. It could be the highest scoring game of the game week, or it could be literally a 0-0. Because neither team want to lose. Eddie Howe's going to want to put one over his own former team. Hence why I'm expecting Newcastle to win. They've got the better quality players. Can we score? Yeah. But to bring in Chris Wood for this fixture.
so who was I supposed to bring in then? Dennis against Man City. Then was that better?
Who did you sell
I'm
Chris
seeing
Wood?
people bring Jimenez. I'm seeing people bring Dennis just to put him on the bench, or
Yeah, me.
you know.
You should have done what I done. Brought in Tony.
Yeah, there was that option, but I think Newcastle just look horrible. They have no defenders.
I agree.
You think Manquillo is going to stop Cornet and Chris Wood? I don't think so.
But
Right?
this is what I'm trying to get across. They're two terrible teams that can't score, that can't defend, which says 0-0. But the difference is that Newcastle have got the better quality player.
So should I hit the wild card now then? I have wild cards still.
Card.
I have a wild card. I'm thinking triple United, triple City, maybe. But I was just going to wait. But if you think it's good now, because now you're scaring me. A Burnley fan saying this, right?
Your team.
I'm 140k here. I need to do something here, please.
So
I
you're
need to get in there.
40k.
160. Okay.
That's really good. It's a really good rank.
No. Last season I was 50k. Steve. Now
But that's 50k how you ended, not where you were at this time last season. Again, slight difference. If you're at 50k this time last year, but
I was 20k this time last season, and now it's that's why I'm worried I'm going to go down to 500. Right now I'm saying I don't want to see blanks.
When does the wild card have to be used by? Do we know?
18. So that's why it didn't make sense for me to bring Dennis. I'm thinking Chris Wood's just like a 1 week move for 1 or 2 weeks or 3.
I mean, if you're thinking that Burnley can score,
he's on penalties, right?
He is, but the problem is that I don't even think Chris Wood. How many goals has he scored this year? 1, 2?
Yeah, against the easy teams.
Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look at Chris Wood, shall we? Chris Wood has scored a whopping.
That's the same with Tony. Same thing with Tony. And there was like Bamford I could have brought, but I don't know if he's playing. And then there's Wilson. But I think Burnley walk over Newcastle there.
Again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it may not happen, but it's just the fact that. In fact, let's have a look at the history. I'm pretty certain the history suggests a very, very, very low scoring, dire game where neither team really like to score? And the answer to that question is, I'm correct. Newcastle 2, Burnley 0, Burnley 1, Newcastle 0, Newcastle 0, Burnley 0, Newcastle 3, Burnley 1, Burnley 1, Newcastle 2, and then Newcastle 0, Burnley 0. So twice at Newcastle. Is that 3 times at Newcastle?
I could have actually fallen asleep there, by the way. Okay.
Yeah. Newcastle at home have not lost a game against Burnley. In fact, they've won 2, drawn 2, 2 of the draws being 0-0. They kept a clean sheet in one of the wins, and then they battered us 3-1.
Oh, no. Yeah, but Cornet wasn't there before, right?
It doesn't matter. We weren't using Cornet to his strengths against Wolves. As I keep saying, all Dyche has to do is give him the ball. In fact, when Newcastle played us last in the Premier League, they won 3-1. Callum Wilson got 2 goals and an assist. St Maximin got a goal and an assist, and I can genuinely potentially see that happening again. And it was played at 8 o'clock on the 3rd of October.
Looks like I went the wrong way then. So should I wildcard here? Just
No.
So
I don't think you need to wildcard.
For one player.
well, like I would obviously like bring in, I don't know, De Gea or Sancho, or I don't know. Like I would load up the team for the fixtures, but
Sancho, what's he done? What's Sancho done?
Yeah.
or if you don't like Sancho, Rashford, or I don't know.
Again,
What's Rashford done?
Well, look at the games coming up. That's the best that's the best fixtures I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Right? New manager. This is, you know, you were just saying it's the time to prove.
Why are you not saying Bruno Fernandes?
Well, he's expensive.
He is.
But that's the problem. I would love to have it, but how do I do it with Ronaldo and Salah?
Foden and Jota could be downgraded.
I wouldn't be getting rid of Jota. Dread FPL makes the point that you can't get rid of Jota with the way he's playing and the way Liverpool are playing and the fact that he's out of position. Forget it. Jota's almost you've got to have him, but
I better get him in there. Right,
with your team though,
here we go.
I would never have got Chris Wood. I mean, it's a nice if Burnley were at home, yeah, but it's the fact we're away from home. I'd rather play Antonio.
Oh my goodness! I can do Rafinha to Jota straight swap, free transfer.
I think
that's a good one. That's a good one. You don't like Cornet, Jason?
Chat. I need a vote in the chat.
Well,
free
I'll do
transfer.
the vote then. I'll put the vote in the chat.
No, I don't do it. You carry on chatting about Chris Wood and how good he is.
I just saw like people bringing Dennis, and the way like I looked at it, nobody's like, what do you realistically expect Dennis to do against City?
He could get a goal. He could get a goal. Could get an assist.
But couldn't Chris Wood?
Here we go. We have got a vote in the main chat. Vote now. Yes or no? Should I do this transfer? Rafinha to Jota, yes or no?
Yes.
Go. You've got 10 minutes to vote, guys. 10 minutes to vote whilst we continue to talk to Marty McFly.
I've done a live transfer. You should do a live transfer.
Well, we'll see, shall we?
What do you think of that move, Brian?
Don't ask Brian. He's ended up got Chris Wood in. Don't ask him.
Well, we'll see. If Chris Wood outscores Kane here, then I wanna hear you sing a song, Steve-O.
Is Jota going up in price? Is he already gone up in price?
He went up in price last night.
All right, so I don't have to get him in now. I could get him in for the next week because Rafinha's fixtures turn, don't they, after tomorrow?
Yeah, Bamford's back though, so that could affect.
Here we go. Come on, guys. We've got 23 votes. How many people we've got watching at the moment? We've got 86 people watching. We've got 23 people voting. I know there's more of you in here. Press the button. Press the vote. Do I do Rafinha to Jota? Yes or no? Your decision will make the difference. I would like to have a good amount of you voting to kind of give me the clear picture of what I should do. But anyway,
I think it's a must do. But no, Brian, in all seriousness, you don't need to wildcard that team. I would just hold off for maybe see what Man United do against Crystal Palace. If they do what Jason says, which is score early, get a second goal, and then in the second half it's just complete domination, have a bit of fun, and they go on to win 4-0, 4-1. I think at that point it's right, hit the wildcard button, bring in the likes of, whoever does really well in that particular fixture. Jump on City, like you've already mentioned. They've got some really good fixtures. You can't look past Tottenham. You've already got Regulon in there. Son, Chelsea, like I mentioned. I'll be getting rid of Alonso. I'd be getting him gone immediately.
Yeah, I just brought him last week for Cody, and Cody kept a clean sheet, and Alonso gave me 1 point. So it's going wrong now. That's the problem.
Schmeichel in goal, absolutely hopeless. Never keeps clean sheets.
1 clean sheet all season, and I'm sitting here like, what am I doing? Right. That's why I'm in a bad rank this season.
It's not even Christmas. It's not a bad rank, but I would be. I would not be hitting the wild card until next week. I think next week could be the because Man United are at home to Norwich. You've then got Man United with the really good fixtures, as I highlighted earlier, and then Burnley's fixtures are turning for the worse.
What did you predict on the United and Palace fixture? What did you predict on Newcastle? You said either way. I'm doing rubbish at predictions this year, ironically, but I predicted Man United 2-1, but they should win 3 or 4-0, 3 or 4-1, I think. You've got, who did you say? Newcastle Burnley. I said 2-1 to Newcastle, but it could honestly it could be 0-0. And Watford Man City, I've gone with Man City to win 2-0, but if they were to get 4 or 5, I would not be shocked whatsoever. The Wolves game's the tightest game. Wolves versus Liverpool. I think that's going to be horrible. Would you captain in my team? Would you captain Ronaldo instead of Salah then? Because if Ronaldo does bang again, he's going to be in teams next week, and I'll miss.
I've said to Jason, if I'm in Jason's shoes, I captain Fernandes genuinely, and in your shoes, in that team, and your rank. I mean, if you're at your rank, you're captain Salah for safety, but Ronaldo's a great shout. He's a brilliant shout. Crystal Palace are awful. They're going to be giving away a lot of chances, and Ronaldo has got a very high chance of, taking advantage of Crystal Palace's bad defence. And like I say, he's a differential enough for you where at least if he does, get a goal and assist or whatever, that's enough. But if you were to captain him and Salah was to only get the 1 goal, I mean, Salah may even blank. I have a feeling Salah could blank.
Interesting. Okay. Well, thanks for that.
That's the horrible thing about this season, though, is that you've got everybody captaining Salah, and if Salah does kick off and you haven't captained him and your captain does nothing,
it's game over.
It's why I'm gutted about Kane, because I just wish Kane had just been looking sharp or whatever versus Norwich, but by all accounts he looked pants. Yeah. It's not good enough. It's not good enough for me. Tottenham should be beating Brentford quite highly. They get one goal as an own goal, and by all counts by the chat it was did you watch the game?
I just watched the United and Arsenal one, but I missed that. The Spurs. I heard he was playing like a central defence role.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what Football 365 said. He's just dropping deeper and deeper, playing out the passes. And as Jason's got Son's, if you're going to have Tottenham, it's a Tottenham defender, Regulon, pretty much. And then if you want their attack, Son. Other than that, if you're a mug like me and got Harry Kane, Christ.
I might flip a coin on Ronaldo, so we'll Thanks for the insight, Steve.
I think Captain Ronaldo if you really want to.
Not a bad
Do
shout.
it.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Marty.
Cheers, Marty.
Bye.
Tell the
Bye.
best. The results of the poll are as follows: 81% have gone with a yes, 19% have gone with no. I'm doing the transfer now on the stream. 3, 2, 1, boom! Hit the button.
Has he done it? Has he done it, chat? Has he done it, chat?
I've done it.
He's done it. So you've just been talking about having differentials on me, and I mentioned that Rafinha could be really good, and now he's just brought in my player. Okay, it's a good move. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a very good move.
It is what it is.
I would have kept Rafinha personally.
It is what it is. Well, mate, but Jota could have outscored Rafinha this week, and I could have ended up blocking his points. So either way, but the chat have decided, the community has chosen me to do Jota in over Rafinha. So thank you for that. If it goes wrong, it's all your fault, and you suck. I'm not taking any personal responsibility on that one. On that note, Steve-O, I'm knackered. I'm sure you're knackered too. I've got to go out and be social and try to be social tonight, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to have matchsticks in my eyes.
Sorry,
I'll be having
what?
coffees. What?
You're actually going out, aren't you?
Yeah, going for drinks with some ex-work colleagues.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow!
For like
Okay.
Christmas, it's their Christmas party.
Where's it at? A pub, a restaurant?
Pub, I think. Well, I think it's a pub. It better not be anything like a nightclub. No, it'll be a pub. To be honest, I'm not even gonna drink. Like, probably just gonna have a cider,
See, I find it crazy because
and then that'll be it.
you're about to go out, and I think, bloody hell, 9 o'clock at night. That's late. That's late. I'm gonna be waking up in 4 or 5 hours. Waking up.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, to be fair though, I have been working through till like 5 in the morning.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I know what it's like. I've been going to bed at 6, waking up at 11:30, and then starting my day at 11:30, 12, and then it's a long day. It's crazy. It's worth it though.
Certainly, John making the point about Burnley, I'm probably gonna, because Brian's got him in, I'm probably gonna put a couple of pennies on Burnley to get a goal.
Do a few shots, make it a fun night. Well, I'm gonna be taking my car, so I think my wife wouldn't be too happy if I left the car in the middle of nowhere and ended up getting a taxi home. Anyway, on that note, I will see you. Are we doing?
No, we're not doing anything tomorrow. Have you seen the games?
We'll speak.
In all seriousness, it really annoys me that there's no 3 o'clock kickoffs for the next God knows how many. I mean, you've got 3 tomorrow. They're all rubbish. Next week, game week 16. You've got Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool.
Don't crypto while drinking. Don't crypto anything at the moment. Look, have you seen the markets? That's what that phone call was about. Anyway, yeah, not financial advice.
Great. When I actually invest, it's crashed. Brilliant.
It is. It's it's not been doing that great. But no, I would never do that anyway. I'm not putting any more money into crypto. I've got all my money. I've got all the money that I want in crypto, and that is it now. Unless it dips a bit lower, then I might be tempted to buy the, I don't know. But anyway, have a good one anyway, guys. I think Steve-O, time has come to say goodbye. We'll be back again soon. We'll sort out we'll schedule another stream, and yeah. Cheers for being here, guys. You guys are awesome, and hopefully my computer hasn't got a virus on it anymore. What did you say?
I said we've been going for an hour and a half. I cannot believe that.
Wave, Steve-O.
Genuinely cannot believe that. That's flown by. Mad. Madness.